Hey folks, it's Finn. It's been a while since we had a lower surgery catch up, so that is what today's topic is about. So, this is your warning. If you do not want to hear about penises and sex in general, then do feel free to navigate away. If you're staying, buckle up. Right, so lower surgery update. I am now a week shy of 9 months post-op from having the final stage of my phalloplasty surgery. The final stage over here in the UK is the erectile device, and I have had the AMS 700 MS erectile device. That's a 3-part pump with just 1 cylinder. I had this under the care of Mr. Erectus, if I've said that correctly, he's part of the London team, and that was on the 8th of August 2018. So today I want to catch up where we left off. My last video was at 3 months post-op, and if you remember I had some concerns about my penis being hard enough because it didn't seem to be pointing very erect even when fully pumped. There was a bend at the bottom, so I wasn't quite sure how I was going to manage to negotiate that with a penis that was going left. I also had a lump on my pubic bone where the pump is anchored, and my left testicle was really high. So today I want to revisit those topics and talk about how the pump is functioning now, how it looks, how it feels, etc. In terms of function, time really is a great healer. It's so easy post-op to panic and think, this doesn't look right, that doesn't look right. Things take long to settle. They really do take a long time to settle, and that's been the case for me. Where there was the lump, where the pump was anchored, it's still there a little bit, but it's settled so much more and isn't an issue. I no longer get any pain there when I'm pleasuring myself or during sex. I think that was where the pump device was basically settling in. It was embedding in my pubic bone, and of course that was going to be uncomfortable, but now there's no pain there at all. I do have some numbness over my pubic bone since stage 1. I've had that, and I just can't really feel it there. You can see it a little bit, but it doesn't bother me, and it's certainly not at all uncomfortable. As for Finn Jr.'s erectness, he's fine. Again, I think it takes time to learn our new bodies, and I was worried initially of over-pumping, but you can't over-pump. And now when I'm pumping him up, I will actually move him while I'm pumping, and by doing that I can get him to stand a lot more upright. Although he is still pointing to the left and he's not pointing to the ceiling, he's still a lot firmer and a lot erect. And what actually is important is that he works. Using the pump now is just second nature. It's just scary initial days, like I said, to over-pump, but you can't over-pump. Now, 2 good firm squeezes, 2 or 3 good full squeezes will bring him fully erect. And then what I find is, after a little bit longer, I can then put more air into him. And it's easy to do during foreplay. I mean, you know, we can be kissing and whatever, and I can just quickly put my hand down there and pump him up. And it's not an issue, it's really easy to do. You could ask your partner to do it as part of the foreplay, but my partner freaks out at even the thought of it. He's a cisgender man, and so for him the idea of squeezing a testicle is awful. It's quite a painful thing for cisgendered men, of course, but I'm squeezing a pump device, not a testicle, but my partner still finds it a bit to do that, so I just do that myself, and it's fine. The type of device I've got has got a really nice big bulb on it, so it's easy to find. It does sometimes, when you're squeezing it, slip out of your hand, and that can be a bit painful, but that's if there's just a bit too much lube down there, shall we say. But otherwise, it's very easy to do. And letting go, there's a very obvious button that you just squeeze, and it just makes this really tiny kind of noise, and down he goes, really quick and easy. If you remember, I had an initial attempt at sex, and it didn't work, and I had a huge dysphoric meltdown. It was absolutely terrifying. I had to spend a little bit of time getting over that, and then we tried again, and it works fine. I just have to kind of move him a little bit so he's going in the right direction, but so does any other bloke, you know. And the fact is, I'm a gay man, so I'm having anal sex, which means that it is going to be more difficult than vaginal sex, just because it's a smaller and drier place. So with lots of lube and lots of patience, like any other gay men having sex, it works. In terms of how the pump feels, as I said, it's a lot more comfortable now. It just took a lot of time to properly bed in and feel okay. But now, you know, it doesn't matter how hard I go at it, there's no pain there and it's fine. It doesn't feel, I used to really worry that it would like break off or something, but now it feels solid and everything. And as I say, that lump down there, I can feel, I'm pushing it now, that's why I'm looking up at the ceiling. I can feel it, but it no longer causes me discomfort to really push that lump, but you can feel that lump moving around. And as I say, that is the anchor to the pubic bone. But it must have now just completely embedded in, so there's no pain there whatsoever. In terms of how the pump feels in the testicle, it's a square box. And it's got like, it's a bulb at the bottom and then a square box. And so you can feel that. Looking at it, you can't see it. It just looks like an extra long testicle rather than a round testicle. I was initially worried that the edge of the box might kind of rub against me. I can certainly feel it, and I've got on an exercise bike at a gym and I've been very aware that it's there, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. However, in some ways I'm quite lucky because the testicle with the pump in has got plenty of room because my other testicle is still really high, and I think when that testicle comes down, if it ever does, it's going to take a little bit of while then to get used to having that much more between my legs again, because at the moment I don't have to be overly concerned about it. That pump has got plenty of room to move. So although it's a very weird shaped device, you can't see that in the testicle by just looking at it, if that makes sense. In terms of how the final stage erectile device has changed my penis, Finn Jr. is now much more solid. Of course, when the pump is deflated, he's flaccid and he hangs like a penis does. But before the erectile device, when there's nothing in the centre, they're unnaturally bendy. They have got no substance to them. They're just like skin. So now that I have the cylinder through the middle, it's got so much more substance. With the AMS, when it's deflated, it's almost like a balloon kind of texture. It's very flat. But there is a bulb at the end that always remains hard. So I just have a bit of substance to my penis and to my knob as well, which looks and feels really, really nice. And it packs really easily. It's not a problem. I was worried about kind of having more substance because, you know, as trans men, we are showers, not growers. It's always one size. And I was worried at first that having more substance from the erectile device would make it even more bulky to pack, and initially it does because you have to get used to all these changes, but it's lovely. I love the way he still swings, but swings with substance now. How he looks when he's erect, as I said, he does still point to the left. If you imagine again, penis, pubic bone, pump, because of the way it's anchored, it's always kind of pointing left. So when it's flaccid it's fine, but when it's inflated, where the bulk of the pump fills with air, it then pushes the penis over to the left. I don't know why it's not anchored underneath. Maybe there wasn't enough room in my pubic bone. If there was, it would go straight up. But as it's there, it's points down when it's flaccid, as I say, but as soon as air goes in it, it's pushing it that way to the left, which means it's quite tight this side, and there's some loose skin this side. So I have a left pointer and a slightly floppy left side, but it doesn't affect the function whatsoever, and once it's pulled into place and put where it needs to be, it stays forward facing, so it doesn't matter, does it? In terms of looking at the whole package, the sausage and beans as such, it looks great. I love looking in the mirror and seeing myself complete. However, I have to say that my testicles do not look as good as they could, because I have this one that's high and this one that's low, and because it's longer because of the pump being square rather than round, I have one kind of long testicle and one very big round one here. I think the actual implant he's put in is far too big. Coming up to 9 months, it's not moved. I have pulled it, I've done all sorts of stuff to try and move it down. It's not happening. So at the moment, although I like the way it looks, the ballsack doesn't look how I would imagine a ballsack to look. I don't have to imagine I've got a boyfriend, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look like a ballsack. One high, one low, not quite right. I would like that changed. It's not uncomfortable, but it's annoying having my testicle that high, because it's literally, if you imagine between my legs, it's right up, almost inside my pubic bone. So it is annoying, not painful, but annoying. I would like a revision. It would help, I think, to make me more comfortable there. But I'm a bit loath to go through surgery for many reasons. I'm sick of surgery. I've had so many, don't want any more. And as you know, Mum died not that long ago. My mental health is really not great at the moment. And I'm worried about even the slightest minor surgery might set me off. And also, every time we have surgery, something changes. And if they do the surgery and it affects the way the pump is, I'm going to have to get used to this all over again. It's so hard, with no pun intended, with this surgery to make choices. Unlike top surgery where there's pretty much one or two choices, with this there's so many things to consider, and every stage of surgery has the chance of changing something that was done previously, you know, like sensation, for example, scars and all of that. So I'm yet to work out whether I'm bothered enough to go through another surgery. I am going to speak to Mr. Christopher and discuss our options and see what he says, and I'll update you on it, but that's where we are with it right now. Which brings us nicely on to, am I happy with where I am? Would I change anything? And the answer is difficult to answer, because yes, I do have a couple of niggles. It would be really nice if the pump was anchored in a way that was in the centre of my pubic bone, so that when I pump, my penis just goes straight up and it's equal both sides and it's just up. That would be lovely. But it doesn't affect the function. So I'm inclined to just leave that bit and not worry about it. The testicle I might look at changing, but the actual pump, I don't think I'm going to risk changing that at all. Phalloplasty is all about managing expectations and getting to a place that's good enough, because otherwise we could spend our lives changing little bits and little bits and little bits and never getting anywhere. No penis is perfect. Penises come in all manner of different shapes and sizes. And as for phalloplasty, it's never ever going to be a cis penis, no matter what they do. So it's all about managing our expectations and getting to a place that's close enough and working out what that is for you. For me, I can stand at a urinal quite comfortably with my willy out and feel fine. I can be home naked and look in the mirror and not feel dysphoric. I love looking at my naked body. I might be like pushing maximum density, getting old and sagging in certain places, but seeing my body complete as it feels to me to be complete is amazing. I can have sex alone or with company and it works. And that for me is a success. So that was a very quick fly through of everything. But if you want me to go into more detail on any of those things, or if it's something I've not answered that you'd like me to answer, please do drop a message in the comments below, and I will either reply to that message or I'll make a video specifically on that. People have asked me if I'm still going to be sharing on Tumblr, because I used to put a lot of detailed pictures and information about my phalloplasty on there. The answer to that, unfortunately, is no, because Tumblr has banned all adult content and taken down most of my posts. So I've just stopped using Tumblr, and I'm gradually taking my posts off there. I have a website and blog, and now I'm moving all of my phalloplasty over to there. Later this week there'll be a blog version of this video where I will also attach pictures of the AMS device. At some point I'm also going to arrange a private photo sharing site so that I can share the link with people who are interested. You can see pictures of my actual penis and the way it functions with the pump. So if you pop over to my website at finleygames.com and follow me there, then I can let you know when I've sorted out the photo upload, and you'll also be kept up to date of any phalloplasty posts that I put on there. I do plan to do more phalloplasty videos on here too, including one on sensation. I want to go in a lot more detail about that and how that's progressed and where we are now with that. So if you're not already subscribed, please do so, and also click enable notifications, and then you'll know when I've uploaded any videos when it comes to gender transition, mental health updates, phalloplasty and so on. I really hope that's helpful. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.